Hello, this is Workbench, episode number 14. I'm Seth Werkheiser, along with Bill Meese, two people who work in music and love technology, sharing our nerdy knowledge and to help you make your work more easier and more manageable. Who's having a drink tonight, me or you, Bill?
To help you.
We're all over the place, yeah.
It's all right. It's been a crazy week. Hi, Seth. How you doing?
I'm peachy.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Episode 14, huh?
Yes.
That's crazy.
We're approaching the big 2-0.
We're not, but we'll get there.
Well, we're totally approaching it. We're on the thoroughfare.
We are en route.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going in the right direction.
So how was your week, buddy?
Week's been good. Punctuated by Saturday's record store day, which I went in the late afternoon to my local record shop, which means anything I was looking for was gone and on eBay already.
Yeah, my record store day experience outside of the day job stuff that I had going on. I woke up on Saturday very excited that it was record store day. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll go to a record store. Then I stopped and thought, where's my closest record store? And then I think, okay, I got one. It's about a 35-minute drive from my house. I'm not kidding.
Wow. Okay.
And on Long Island, that's quite a
trek.
That's quite a trek.
Yep.
And then I did some Googling. I Google searched some the name of the record store, and I saw some tweets. I saw some Instagrams.
Ooh.
And there were like lines around the block waiting to get into this record store. And I immediately thought, well, I don't want to go do that. And then, I thought to myself, like, don't these people know that record stores are open all day, all year long, every day?
True.
Some are closed on Sundays, but most are open all the time.
Yep.
So, I mean, I say that in jest. I know
sure.
that there's special releases and people make a big deal out of it, but yeah, my Saturday was normal, so I'm glad yours was too.
Yeah. Well, I stopped by because two friends couldn't make it out. One friend couldn't make it to record store day. Another was in New York City, and the thing he was looking for was out at the two shops he went to. So I thought I'd give a look, but no dice.
Well, at least you can buy them on eBay, right?
Sure can. Someone will make a buck from them.
Right. So what are we talking about, man? What's going on?
Hey, I think we're talking extensions, right?
What's an extension?
Extension is something in your browser that makes it do like add-on stuff that's not like out of the box meant to do, I guess.
Right. Extensions are little tools that you can attach to your web browser to perform specific tasks or perform specific duties pertaining to the web. So, we say extensions, but we can just come out and say Chrome extensions and Firefox extensions. But Chrome,
yeah, you're leading the charge on the Chrome. I'm not a Chrome user anymore, so
you know what? I stopped using Chrome for about an hour a couple months ago.
Yeah,
because I got so mad at it, and I went to Safari, and I'm like, wow, this is elegant and sleek and minimal. And then I realized some of my workflows that I have set up rely pretty heavily on those Chrome extensions. And
yep.
Safari, as we'll get into, does not match up at all.
Big thumbs down, yeah.
Right. So I guess I'll jump into the ones that I use.
Yeah, and some of the ones that you mentioned, I think some of the Safari has some similar stuff. So yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, the first one is Pocket, and I know we've talked about Pocket before on this show. It's a read it later application, a la Instapaper. But Pocket is the one that I use just because I like it better, and I've been using it for a while, and they've been pretty awesome for a while. So all this enables me to do is as I'm browsing the web, if I come across a link or an article or video or anything in my browser that I want to save for later, just click the little Pocket icon in my browser extension area,
yep,
and it will go right to Pocket. And for those who use Pocket, know that you can add tags to your saved items to be able to sort through later. And the extension even allows you to add tags as you're saving, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's a Safari extension too.
You know what?
I don't use it as much, but
I remember installing it in Safari in my attempt to match workflow for workflow between Chrome and Safari, and that one worked, but most of them didn't.
Yeah. Definitely the next one you're going to talk about it doesn't.
No, it's called Chrome Notepad, and to be honest with you, it looks a little archaic, but it is perfect when it comes to doing what I need it to do. It's a little notepad icon that sits in the extension area, and when you click on it, a text field opens up. It's not very big, maybe about an eighth or a tenth of your screen real estate, and it's just a place to manipulate plain text. So if anyone who works on the web or anything close to the web knows that working with plain text is pretty important. So if I'm copying, pasting, adding, subtracting, writing a quick email, you name it, anything text related, I just click that, it pops down, paste it in there, do what I need to do, copy it, and then move it, paste it wherever I'm actually using it. I like it specifically because I can take formatted text off of emails, documents, and the web, paste it there, and it instantly turns it into plain text. Which, that's important for some people, and that's important to me.
Yeah, totally. Makes sense.
Why don't you tell me about one that you like on Safari?
For sure, the Evernote. It's ubiquitous between the two, but for me, the two browsers, Evernote, the extension with that is really nice in that, like, you can be on a website and select a chunk of text and then hit the Evernote little button in your browser, and it'll file away somewhere inside Evernote, along with the URL, which I love. You can also do it with images. Right-click on images, save to Evernote. Like, it's pretty powerful stuff as far as an extension in the browser.
And what's cool about the Evernote extension is that once you select or once you set into motion what you want to save in Evernote, the Evernote extension, at least in Chrome, I don't know, I think it's Safari too, it gives you a plethora of options. Whether you want to add a tag, put it in a specific notebook.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
take a screenshot, or take save the full article, a clip, a snippet.
Yep.
You can do a lot of things with that. I use that pretty heavily too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
The next one I use pretty heavily is Google Voice. Now Google Voice again is Google's free phone service, and for those of you that want a phone number that's not your personal line, you can use this. I use this heavily for my day job, and it enables me to, honestly, the only reason I use it is it enables me to send text messages right in my browser extension area.
Yep.
So here's what happens usually. I get a voicemail from somebody, listen to the voicemail in Google Voice, and then text them back right from the extension. And then they, 9 times out of 10, they text me back right from the extension. So not only am I doing all this in my browser through a browser extension, I've also eliminated an extra phone call that I have to make that day.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the copy and paste with Google Voice is amazing too, with using it in your browser.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
What is TinEye that you put on our show notes?
Yeah, TinEye is a new one I found. I've been using a lot. Many times I need to, whether it was Skull Toast or my other writing endeavors, I need to find band photos. And so what I'll do is I'll TinEye, the extension, what it does is it allows me to right-click or control-click on an image. And you know how, for those that aren't super familiar with the control-click thing, that just means you click on something and then it says save as or whatever. With this extension, it also adds this TinEye thing, which means it'll look up where this image is all across the web. So for me, I don't necessarily want to take a band photo directly from like a music blog. If I can find it on the label site or the band site, I'd much rather do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be able to find the original source for the photo. So
yeah, and doing that, you'll run a greater chance of getting the right photo.
Yes. Yep, absolutely.
Which is important.
Yeah. So I really like it for that. The ability, because normally what I'd have to do, is save the image to my desktop, go to Google Images, do a reverse image search. It doesn't sound like a lot, but over the course of a year, that's a lot of steps. So with this, click.
I saw you tweet about that earlier. Can you explain what a reverse image search is and how to do it?
Oh.
Because I don't think a lot of people know that.
Okay, yeah, this came up because...
you got a little hot tonight.
I did. Okay, so...
On the tweeter.
On the tweeter, as I do. So the Patreon Twitter people, they tweeted out an image, a compelling image, and asked the people that follow them. I think they have like 60,000 followers or something. Hey, what do you think? Blah, 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 blah. Well, someone made that image. It's a hand-drawn, handwritten thing, photographed. Someone made that.
And you can put it in our show notes with credit.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes, we'll link to this. And I recognize the image. It's done by an artist named Austin Kleon. And so, I know that just because from seeing him and following him over the years. Now, all you have to do is any image that you see, you can save it to your desktop, or even just copy the URL of the image. You go to Google Images, and we'll link this up in the show notes. And when you go to Google Images, there's a little like camera icon on the right-hand side, and you can click that. And it lets you search by image. So you do that, and then what it does is it can tell you the source of the image, where it came from. Not just, hey, I found this cool image, let me tweet it to everybody. You can actually find the creator, the original source of it, because then you can link to them. Here's this cool image, and this person made it. Here's a link, which is a very nice thing to do.
I don't think I knew how to do that before you just explained it to me.
Really?
Yeah, see? That's why we do this.
Wow, okay. Well, you're also not willy-nilly tweeting images to your 60,000 followers either.
No, I usually screenshot my own ridiculous images.
That's quite true. And you do have compelling images to tweet as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a reverse image search. It's super helpful. And because, a lot of the times, you find a real cool image. Oh, look at this awesome photograph. And you put it up there. Remember like a couple years ago, Hurricane Sandy, I think. And in New York City. And people were like putting up an image of downtown with the flood and this and that. But if you reverse image searched it, as people finally did, it was from like a different year, like at a different, time and stuff. So like,
so you can like get metadata along with it,
or at least find because what people will do is like when something big happens, some big news story happens. Images tend to get, oh my goodness, here's this image from this event. But sometimes that's not really the image from the event. It could be from another event. So,
wow.
So by doing that, you could see like, oh, that's not from Hurricane Sandy. That was from a big storm back in 2002 in Newsday.com.
Wow.
Womp womp.
Seth Werkheiser cracking the case.
Reverse image search. We'll link all that stuff up. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah. Like I said, doing it a lot of times for bands and stuff. You want to get to the source of it. You want to, whether it's a PR site, whether it's a label site, whether it's the band site. So, yeah, because the last thing you want to do as a writer, as an editor, is use some photo that you find on a music blog, only to find out it was like taken from some photographer's Flickr site.
Right.
Then you're in for a world of hurt then.
Well,
that's just not nice.
Well, the breaking news example you use is probably the most important, I think, because you get a banned photo wrong. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo. I know it's not the right thing to do, but boo-hoo. But when you compare it to like getting the date wrong on a natural disaster photo,
yes, yeah,
that's a great point.
Right.
Well, anyway, back to extensions. See, there you go, Google. Google should make a reverse image search extension if it doesn't already exist.
Yeah, you're right.
But the next one, I obviously use more extensions than you do, which is why I'm just plowing through these. But
that's okay.
The next one I use pretty heavily is the Bitly, bit.ly extension. And I know you use this heavily, but you don't use the extension, I guess.
I do not know.
But, for my day job, I'm constantly sharing links of coverage, being a publicist. And, Bitly is just a great way to take a super long URL and shorten it. And the extension enables you to create a very tight little compact, nicely arranged link with a story source, a headline, and a link.
Yep.
And honestly, I use this all day long because for all my reporting and all my status updates, it's a must-have for me. And the thing about the extension though is I don't think you can access stats, because with Bitly, once you put a link into Bitly, and I think if you have an account, which is free,
yep,
you can track clicks, regions, all different graphs. I guess you can get into that a little more, but I know some of that is available through the extension.
Well, the most fun is adding a plus sign to any Bitly link.
Oh yeah. You got to explain that, because that was a little mind blowing when you told me that a few years ago.
Yeah, I see a lot because we do that in the music blog world. Is a lot of sites will use Bitly links for exactly that purpose. They want to see how many people click on a link, and it makes sense. But as a consumer, as an outsider, you can add a plus sign to the end of their Bitly link, and then you can see the numbers, how many people clicked on it. So there's a lot of fun when you see a major media outlet in the music world use a Bitly link for a big premiere, and you look, they have 80,000 followers, and then you look at their Bitly link, and it's like, wow, 80 people clicked on their link.
Which is a what percentage?
Horrible percentage. 80 divided by 60,000.
Right. So. Well, which doesn't happen all the time, but
it doesn't. Yeah.
The point being is that if you just it's a little life hack, if you will, little
it's
link
curious.
hack,
yeah,
hacker hack.
Yep.
If you just add a plus sign to the end of a Bitly link that you find online, plug it into your own browser, hit enter, and then you can see the stats for that link.
Yep.
Neat little trick.
Yep.
The next one I use is Buffer. And Buffer is a scheduling service for social media. I use it for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And if I'm reading something online, if I find a link or a photo or anything, just hit the Buffer icon in my extension browser, and boom, it takes me to Buffer, to where I can schedule it anytime I want, or on any previous setup social media account that I want. And cool. If you're scheduling posts all day long, which a lot of people do these days, whether you're a content manager or not, it enables you to quickly get in and out of Buffer to schedule your posts.
That's cool. Yeah.
Is that the only one you had, or you had another link in there talking about the sad state of Safari browser extensions?
Yeah, that's my link. That'll be in the show notes. But the sad state of Safari browser extensions.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, that's the name of the post. The sad state of Safari browser extensions.
Oh, that they're just garbage?
Yeah. And the article It's really good. It'll be linked in the show notes, but it kind of outlines and explains why and kind of the yuck factor of it. In that, holy moly, I mean, I used Chrome for a long time. There's, everything you're talking about here as far as Chrome extensions, heck yeah, I used. But now with Safari, it's just kind of like womp womp. It's pathetic. So
and don't want to like. Don't get me wrong, Safari is a great browser. I actually like it a little bit better than Chrome, but Chrome is so intertwined into multiple workflows that I'm kind of married to it at this point.
Yo, totally. And Google loves that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still use Safari, but yeah, the extensions on Safari are just dismal at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, let's keep going. The next one I use is AdBlock, and it's probably the least exciting one out of all these. But AdBlock just blocks the ads, or blocks,
and quite controversial.
It does, and
tisk.
And I'm losing a ton of sleep over it. If you're on a site and you have pop-up ads or what have you, this blocks it, and it's one of those tools that just runs in the background.
Yep.
And I honestly forget that it's even there until I just glance up at the little hand or the stop sign, I think, in my browser.
It shows an 11 or 12, right?
Like over 50. It'll show like the number of ads that it's blocking.
Right, because it's not just visible ads, too. There's like stuff underneath in the code that's like inserting cookies in your browser.
Yeah, which is another reason why I use it. And why do you say it's controversial? I've read that it is in the past, but I want to hear why you think it is.
Well, because if ads don't load for site owners, that means they don't get paid. They get paid every time an ad is displayed. If you're blocking the ads, they're not getting displayed, so they're not getting paid.
Let's look at it this way. If there's extensions, and popular extensions at that are dedicated to blocking said ads,
it's time to get out of the display ad business.
Bingo.
Yes.
Maybe they're targeting the wrong audience.
Boy, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, I don't know about you, man, but when I'm listening to other podcasts or if I'm watching a specific show online and I see an ad for something that I'm interested in, I pay attention.
Yep.
I go check it out. I listen.
But for the most part, a lot of these sites and a lot of these banner ads are not interesting. They're garbage.
Which is why people are developing software to block them. So if that is just the way the internet Darwinism goes, then so be it, and they'll go away. And then I'll go on just paying attention to the ads that I want to hear about, and they'll get all the money.
Oh boy!
So we're being sarcastic, but the underlying theme here is that targeted ads is where everything is going. If
targeted, relevant, timely ads.
Right, and if it hasn't already, it already has started, but it's going to keep going. And
well, I mean, we hear Dan Benjamin on the 5x5 network talk about selling ads and
Who's
stuff.
Dan Benjamin? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Dan Benjamin of the 5x5 network. No, he talks about reading ads and such, and that they have they don't just read any ad. He doesn't read just any ad. He wants to make sure it's good stuff. Because he's putting something in the listener's ear that's taking up their time, and he wants to make sure it's worth it. So,
yeah, and the ones that he does read, I listen to.
Yes, I'll just mention
except Squarespace. I'm really tired of hearing about their service.
But you know what? It's funny. Squarespace. I mean, yes, for you and I, Squarespace. But I was emailing with a listener recently, and they're setting up a website now using Squarespace because they heard about it from our show. And,
from our show?
Our show, yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's the way it goes, I guess. So.
Yeah, well, the point being is that there's an extension out there that will block all the ads you don't want to hear. So,
yes,
that's why I use it.
AdBlocker also blocks comments too, doesn't it? It can turn off discuss, right?
I don't know, but
I think when I used it, or I used something that was similar, it could shut off comments, which is awesome.
I hope it does. If now I'm going to go check and make sure that it's doing that, because I
don't read the comments.
I have no use for comments.
No.
So the next one I use is, it's called Timer. It's a very simple timer. Anyone that has read any kind of productivity blog knows that timing things like, all right, I'm going to spend 35 minutes on this and that's it, is a thing, which I do not all the time, but sometimes, especially if it's something that, I know is going to take me a week to do, and it's like, all right, I have to do at least 40 minutes of this today. Yeah, I'll set a timer, I'll do it. When the timer goes off, I stop. So that's pretty cool. And the next one's a big one for me. Awesome Screenshot.
I think I used that one, yeah.
Yeah,
or I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a screenshot tool. But what makes this cool is that once you take a screenshot, it enables you to further edit the image, whether it's add a shape, add an arrow, add text, manipulate it in a way to prove your point or get something across. And what's even better is that you can either save the image to your desktop or upload it to their server, which will be active for 3 days, I think it is. And then it goes away. And honestly, if you're taking a screenshot just to show somebody something, it's not something you want to save forever. So their 3-day self-destructing is pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, especially too, since when you take the screenshot, then you can do stuff to it right there. For a while, because Safari doesn't have something like that, so I'm always doing the Shift Command 4. But to add anything to it, this and that, now I have to double click on the now saved image that's on my desktop. And again, oh no, an extra step, but extra step adds up over the course of a year. So
how many clicks?
That's why this, in the browser is awesome.
Yeah, how many clicks is that after a week?
Exactly. Yep.
So the next one is I think it's called Gmail 2. I'm actually not even sure. But it's a Gmail extension to where if I'm on a web page or a link or something, I click that and it loops in my Gmail account, and it creates a new email sending that link to somebody, putting the title of the link in the subject field. Wow. Which is awesome. I use it for personal stuff, honestly, like to my wife or to family.
Yeah.
And if I see a link, I'll just hit that and email it right to them, which is pretty awesome.
Nice. And again, that's neat too, because now you don't have to click over to your email, type in a subject, all that kind of stuff.
All right. It's just one less thing.
Yep.
And finally, Gchat. And I have a love-hate relationship with Gchat.
Oh, yes.
What do you like about it? And we're talking about Google Chat, for those who don't know.
I liked it so much more when I was using Google Chrome, because it was so tightly integrated with the browser. But now outside, now that I use Safari, it's, I basically only have the Google Chat, on my phone.
Right.
So,
and that's probably that's probably that app's or service strong suit. It's ubiquitous across all devices. And,
absolutely, yeah.
And not even devices, but screens. Like, I have 2 computers at work. I have a PC and a Mac side by side.
Yeah.
And I'll have Gchat open on both, and I'll notice when I'm chatting with you, I'll be chatting on my laptop. I'll move over to the PC, and it picks up right where you left off.
Cool. Yeah.
And the same goes for iPad, iPhone.
Yep.
And it's pretty awesome. So this extension is just, I'm not sure if it's a dedicated Mac app or an extension or both.
Okay.
But either way, I use the extension to initiate Gchat, and off we go.
Right. Yeah. No, like I said, I just use the Hangouts on my phone, and that's it. Because, I have a few people that still, contact you and a couple other people that still chat with me using Google Hangouts. So that's why I keep it on my phone. Because I don't want to have I'm not going to have Safari and Google Chrome open on my laptop. So. Right.
Now, those are the ones that I use. Okay. Yeah. So that's probably about 1% of the ones that are out there.
There are a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Google right now. There are hundreds and hundreds of extensions.
Yes.
In all sorts of categories, from blogging, developer tools, just for fun, games, news, weather, photos, productivity, search tools, shopping, sports, you name it. There's stuff out there for you. I know there's an MLB extension, which I'm going to install right now, which it's a drop-down menu for baseball scores.
Okay.
Which I now can't find.
Okay, great.
But yeah, it's what you drop it down and you can check the scores right there, which is pretty awesome.
Right.
But there's tons. All you have to do is just Google Chrome extensions and
right.
You'll go
I mean, yeah, Chrome has so much. I mean, the like I said in that article about Safari browser extensions, it talks about how much better Google's extension ecosystem is. So it's just easier for developers. The process is much smoother. So there's a lot of people that use Google Chrome too. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I think Google Chrome's the most popular browser out there, right?
If not, it's close.
It's way, yeah. I think it's got to be up there. I really do.
All right, so I'm checking out this one called 365 Scores.
Wow. In real time, while we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, and I'm adding it right now.
Yeah.
Just to check it out.
Shoo.
And that'll at least give me some scores while I'm
right there
working.
In your browser without having to go to a website, which is right, hopefully.
We'll see. I'm gonna mess with this, but
right now would be a good time to talk about a sponsor.
Yeah, right.
Which we don't have.
No, we always have a sponsor. CB's Copy and Skull Toaster.
Absolutely.
Always.
CB's Copy, if you need stuff transcribed. I see some tweets out there of some writers. They're like, oh, I have 8 hours of transcribing to do, and it's due tomorrow. Give Bill a call.
Yeah. All right, 365 Scores is soccer. Want nothing to do with that. Gonna go ahead and delete that. So, yeah. But...
Are you serious? That was all it was?
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of soccer, which explains why it was so popular. Like, God forbid there's a baseball extension.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway.
Yeah, the baseball extension is MLB.com. Go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
Sorry. Yeah.
So anyway.
That's extensions. Lots of stuff out there. Let us know what you use.
Yeah, no,
dear listener.
Dear listener, that's our show. If you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, you can email us at hello@workbenchpodcast.com, or you can hit me or Seth on Twitter. I'm at Bill Meese, and Seth is at Seth W.
Yes, and for all the links to all the goodies that we talk about and some other extra stuff, you can visit workbenchpodcast.com. And there's also links to subscribe on iTunes if you're not already. Links to Patreon, which you can support our show. All that good stuff. Workbenchpodcast.com.
Now that this is episode number 14, we have a pretty decent back catalog of content. So if you want to check out some past episodes, we've been covering some pretty decent stuff, and you can just listen to us over the course of a weekend.
Yeah, and I've seen some people say that they loaded up their iPhone, their podcast player, and they're going to listen to a bunch of our podcasts. So, thank you for the folks out there that mentioned that on Twitter and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, we've got some positive feedback, which is always nice to have. I consume podcasts the same way though. Like, if I find a podcast that I like, I'll just thumb through their back catalog and check out some of the past episodes and just download the ones that I want to hear. Yep.
Good stuff. Well, I'm happy that we're a part of that for other people. So
absolutely
stuff. Cool.
Hey, Seth.
Yes.
Later, buddy.
See you, dude.